All right, welcome to another edition of the Above the Bridge podcast. I'm your host, Thaddeus. Shout out to our sponsors. If you go on defendhawaii.com right now, go on their website, pick what you want. Upon checkout, use promo code ADBPOD, and you'll receive 15% off your entire purchase order. Defendhawaii.com, ADBPOD upon checkout, 15% off your entire purchase order. Also, if you go to IREP Detail Supply, same thing. Go on their website, grab what you want. They have a bunch of detailing supplies for your car. When you check out, go to promo code ATBPOD and you'll receive 15% off your entire purchase order. IREP Detail Supply. And last, our sponsor is Hawaii Candy Factory. Same thing. You pick out what you want. They got a bunch of crazy candy concoctions and lihimui gummies and a bunch of crazy stuff. Go on their website. When you check out ATB Pod, you receive 10% off your entire purchase order. Okay, so my guest today, we had her on the show before. She is my most downloaded person, person who gets the most downloads. And we want to reconnect with her, bring her back on the show. It's Aunty Brandi. How you been?
I've been good. How are you been doing?
I've been okay. I'm just getting over COVID, so I had a shitty week, but yeah, it's been interesting.
You getting better though? Is it progressing?
Yeah, I've been feeling okay. The first 2 days was hell, especially the first day. But yeah, it was like I would go to use the bathroom, and the amount of energy it took for me to walk to the bathroom, I would come back to my bed and just pass out. It was shitty.
Yeah. I had COVID too. It was a while back already. I went to Kauai for a trip. I came back. I had COVID. I was like coughing up blood. Blood was coming out of my nose. I couldn't breathe. My bosses were like, "Okay, we got to start replacing her." They were already replacing. I was like, "Let me get better first."
Oh, they're quick to judge.
That's so business, though.
I guess so. How long were you out for?
I was out for 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
I tested negative after 2 weeks. I tested a couple times just to make sure before I went around anybody else. I just wanted to, get family, elderly people. So I just really wanted to make sure. So I tested like 3 or 4 times negative, but I still had lingering effects for like another 2 or 3 weeks after that.
What kind of effects?
So it was your typical like the cough, and then like even my nose is super stuffy. When I would blow it, just like blood was coming out. When I would cough, and like when I would cough up, it was still blood, and I couldn't breathe. I was super tired. I felt like I had a hard time breathing. Yeah, it was
yeah, it's been like super fatigue, like just walking up the stairs and was like gassing out.
Yeah, I know. I had fever, everything. And then at that time, you were quarantining, I think, for like 2 weeks straight. So it was just at that point too. I felt better, but I was so tired of being in my room all the time and not going anywhere. Yeah. I was going crazy.
Yeah, fortunately for me, we're only like at 5 days, but even that, I'm just like, it's like I'd go walk my neighborhood, like so bored.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's crazy. Everybody's like, oh, it's just like a bad flu. And I always tell them, like, well, who wants a bad flu? Like, I don't want the flu.
Nobody.
Yeah. But hopefully now that I had it and you had it, that our antibodies are high, and hopefully I can be less worrisome about catching it. But yeah, it's something I don't want to have again. It sucked. It wasn't fun.
After I got COVID, I actually got vaccinated after that because at the time, there was 3 people right in a row that I knew that had passed from COVID. And I was like, oh man, I got sick. And the thing is too, you don't really think that you're going to catch it, but I got sick. And then I was like, oh man, what if like I have the chance of passing it on to somebody? Like I just knew 3 people that passed away. So I was like, I don't want to pass it on to somebody else. And then I'm the reason. So I just got vaccinated anyway after getting the vaccine. And I've been fine since that, but still, just trying to practice caution.
Yeah, for sure. I don't even know how I got it. Could have been anything. Costco to gym.
Yeah.
That doesn't help that I'm in a club every Friday.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Well, at least both of us made it through. One of my best friends had it bad. Peter, I don't know if you know Peter, but he was shut down. He was hospital and like yeah, it was bad. But
How's
he
he doing
pulled through.
now?
He's doing good now. He pulled through. He's getting stronger. But yeah, it was bad for him. And he's somebody who's like a fitness model. He's like super shredded, and it's like, oh, if it took him out, I was like, wow, this thing's no joke.
It's scary, and I know there was a whole controversy between people saying one side of the vaccine or the other side of the vaccine or COVID on the other side, and it's like, well, honestly, we don't know all the facts. We just
Yeah.
honestly don't have it. We don't know enough, and it's like, do I want to be that person that's just going around not knowing anything, pretending like, oh no, it's fine, or do I just want to, you know what, do the responsible thing? We got Kupuna out there, we got Kiki out
Yeah.
there, and you gotta be, make the best choice for everybody, for the community as a whole as well. And so just try to do that.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
it's
I'm
tough.
vaccinated because of work. I work for cancer research, but
Oh, that's right.
for me, I felt like the vaccine was a little bit of a false sense of security. Like, oh, I got
Mhm.
vaccinated. I don't even worry. Because I get the measles and what chicken pox vaccine. I can walk around that and I'm not gonna catch it. But
Yeah.
COVID, you get the vaccine, you're just not gonna, I guess, get it as bad. I don't know.
Yeah. The whole thing was kind of confusing too, because at first you think that, okay, if you get the vaccine, you're not going to get it. Then it's
Yeah.
still, you can still get it, but you're not going to pass it. And then it's like, well, you could still pass it, but the chances, and so the whole thing kept changing. So it's confusing. So at that point,
Yeah.
it's like, what do I do? Do I, you just gotta
Hope for the
do what's
best.
best for you. Yeah, you gotta hope for the best. You gotta do
Yeah.
what's best for you, your family, and each person is entitled to do what they feel is best for themselves. So that you can't really judge on that, what each person, whether they do it or don't do it. You know what I mean? So I'm just happy to be getting out of this COVID thing. I'm not trying to go back. I'm just trying
Oh
to
yeah.
right
It's
now.
nuts because like when you testing and like, oh, I don't know if it was for you, but I got the home test and I'm over there and it's like waiting for a pregnancy test. Like, not that I do that all the time, but it's like, oh shit, like you're just like waiting for the pink line and then it shows up. You're like, oh.
Yeah, that's exactly how it feels.
But
Exactly.
yeah, I got through it. I'm feeling better. So I was able to have you on today. So that was good.
No, thank you so
Yeah.
much for having me back. Really, I'm so honored. Thank you.
Yeah, honestly, I had to have you back. You were probably the person that everybody asks about, like on social media, on my
Wow.
Above the Bridge accounts. Oh, how's Aunty Brandi doing? Of course, everybody like know if you get boyfriend. That's the biggest question. Hey, ask Aunty Brandi if she get boyfriend. I'm like, why you not ask her? Like,
or girlfriend. You know what? It's 2022. Could be.
oh
a
yeah,
girlfriend
could
as
go
well.
either way. Could go either way. But like I said, every week I'll get hit up and we'll have like 10 people listen to your episode and it's crazy. Like it's super consistent and everybody wants to know what's going on with you. So it's been a year. You've been still doing your radio thing, and throughout that year since the last time we talked, what has been changed and what's been going on with you?
I lost my sanity, my sleep. Going crazy. I'm just kidding. Oh man, yeah, it's a whole year. You know, when you're working towards a goal, when you're working towards something, you're in the daily grind, right? You're in the daily grind. You have to get up. Like I get up at 3:45. So I get up at 3:45 in the morning. I go to work. I got to pick up one kid from school in Waianae. After he gets out from school in Waianae, I got to drive to Kamehameha to pick up my younger son from my other son from football practice. And then I'm getting home 7:00 at night. I still got to cook, clean. And that's just family. That's what families got to do, right? You got to work, take care of the kids, run your errands. That's just how it goes. And you put in the daily grind. And sometimes it can be overwhelming. Like, I cannot do this anymore. I'm maxed out and overwhelmed. I'm stressed out. And day to day, it can take a toll. But then when I look back at the past year, I'm like, wow, you don't realize how far you come when you don't give up. when you just keep going, because there's so many times I think I broke down and I was like, I cannot do this anymore. So you look back and you look how far you've come, which is amazing. So now I'm producing the show.
Oh wow!
I do all the production over there.
So what does that entail?
So production basically is how do I explain it? So so I have to do the podcast, right? Because we get that's uploaded to iHeartRadio. They have a podcast.
Okay.
We take portions of the show that'll play later on in the day. I have to do commercials for sponsors. So I have to do recordings for the other guys that I work with. I got to record their commercials. I got to edit that, add the music beds, send it into the sponsor, do whatever edits.
How you learn how to do all that?
Tweaking. You just stand there. I'm just kidding. It takes a lot of time. If, like anything you want to do in life, you just got to apply yourself day in, day out. A lot of it is trial and error and learning through error what works and doesn't work. And then you just keep working at it every day, and you keep putting one foot forward in front of the other. So it was a very slow and long process, but in the past year, this is how far it's come.
Wow.
It's been amazing. Yeah.
That's super impressive. I mean, that's a skill that you'll take with you forever. I mean, I've started to learn how to edit since Boy Band John's been super busy. I've been doing my own video editing, and I've been learning through YouTube, and DJ Hoppa Boy helps me a lot. So because he has a professional video company, so he'll help me with tips and tricks and any questions I have. But to learn it's kind of cool to learn, and like you get excited when you produce something. It's like, oh, I made the whole thing, and it's like, but to do it on a level that is going out to the whole state, and it's on the radio and stuff, that's kind of stressful.
And especially when you mess up too, right? Because it's like, it's not like you're practicing and learning on like a small level. You're practicing and it's broadcasting everywhere. And just like, oh my gosh. So like when you learn all these skills though, it's kind of like owning a truck. It's like you finally learn these skills. You finally own the truck. All of a sudden, everybody wants to come to you to either borrow your truck or borrow your skills. And it's like, oh man. So it comes with those own burdens too. Now that you learn how to do something, you become the person to go to for that.
You say, oh, just edit this real fast. Like real fast. That's 4 hours right there. I get shit to do.
Oh my gosh.
Wow, that's impressive though. That like you're producing now. That's something huge that you didn't do the last time I talked to you.
Yeah. So it's exciting to learn, you start doing, a little at a time, and each time, right? So way before, all I wanted to do was like just be on radio. And then when you get on radio, then your goal shifts and it gets more and more, right? As you start to reach each level. So it keeps going. I think for me, like I guess the thing that really hits me the most, I never thought how big of an impact it would really feel to me. I got sponsored by Hawaii Food Bank.
Oh, wow.
And so working with Hawaii Food Bank or different foundations have approached me as well. I don't have some contract signed for that yet, but we're ready to go forward with that. But when you start doing work that affects and helps the community, I don't think I realized like, oh wow, actually how amazing that really felt. I wasn't ever expecting to come to that. You know what I mean?
That's super cool.
Somebody's coming to you for that kind of work. It's like, oh wow.
That's impressive. What I like about your guys' morning show is you guys seem to have genuinely a good time. Like it seems like, wow, you guys are having fun, and it comes across that way. And it's always cool, especially in the morning. Like when I'm driving to work, I'm not about fun. I'm just like, oh, got to drop off my daughter to school, and now I got to drive to work. And then I hear you guys having fun, and you guys are silly, and it does help. It helps lighten the mood and for all your listeners and stuff. But is it as fun as it seems? Like when you're recording, is it as fun as you guys make it out to be?
My boss is going to listen to this and shake his head because I'm about to spill the beans on this one. Some days, I'm not going to lie, you're having bad days. I've had days where you can go be in a relationship too and you're crying. Maybe you're going through a breakup or whatever it is and you're crying. and that 6 o'clock mark comes and you're crying and you're like, hey, what's up, everybody? Have a great day. You got like tears rolling, and nobody listening knows that you're doing that. And you really got to like just shift and get into the mode, and all of a sudden, and then as soon as the commercial break comes, you're back on the phone, like crying again, like your life is falling apart. But so some days everybody goes through stuff in life, man. I've realized that, especially working on the show, there's so many people that call in and they're going through cancer or health scares, or they lost family members, terrible divorces, they're not seeing their kids. And there's so many people that go through things on a daily basis. And you got to remember that when people are listening to you, they're trying to connect with you, you know, and so you have to remember that whatever problems I'm going through, it's nowhere near what other people are experiencing. And you got to be able to connect with them and help, because sometimes other people are in a dark spot and they're going to look to that to help reach through their day, you know? So I think sometimes you just got to humble yourself and remind, hey, it's not as bad. There's people going through way more, and you really got to just be appreciative for everything, every moment, every second, anything, you know?
But you genuinely like what you're doing? Has it been still fun for you, or is it becoming more of a work kind of thing versus like, oh yeah, I'm on the radio, I'm having fun, and it's like, oh, it's a full-on job now?
Actually, you know what? I really love what I do. And I was just talking to a hairstylist, and we were talking about when you really love what you do, it does make a difference.
Yeah.
Like I can be at work all day. Like you have to it's 2:00 in the morning. You got to like pull me out the studio to stop working. Cause I really love and you become a perfectionist. It's not like this or it's not like that. And you really when you have that passion behind it. Yeah. So I truly do love what I do.
That's super cool. And like I said, it shows that it comes across like you're having fun, even if you're masking it. But I guess that's
sometimes
that's the professionalism, huh?
When you work with people who's been doing it forever, they're just pick up that chin, kid, and keep going. And you're working amongst professionals who's been doing this for many years. It's a good thing to follow, right? Whenever you're doing anything, to follow the people who have been doing it for so long, who set this path, and to be able to follow in that. Yeah.
Well, I feel like you've been gaining popularity, and it shows like when you're out and stuff, and you're doing a lot of community stuff. You're at like the fairs and how's that been? Like, are people noticing you more and be like, hey, like want to take pictures? Like, are you becoming more of a celebrity?
I don't think I'm a celebrity. I just feel like Hawaii is like one big family, you know?
Yeah.
We all know the same people or go through the same struggles. We all going through the same gas inflations or baby formula shortage. We're all going through it all together. So we're like one big family going through all of it together. And when they listen in or they call in, so when I go out, surprisingly, I don't know. I don't know if people don't want to come up to me. I don't get approached that often.
Oh.
It's very rare that I do. But yeah, it's very actually rare. I don't know why.
How is it hosting a live event? I mean, it's different when you're in person and like if you go on stage and stuff like that. Have you got to do more opportunities to do those kind of things? And if so, how has that been versus being behind the radio?
Oh, okay. So yeah, you know what? I had to talk with this about somebody. So actually right now I just got booked for Dave and Buster's. It's going to be every Monday nights.
Oh, nice.
Starting at 5:30. I have the Taste of Oahu. That's every first Friday at the Aloha Stadium. And then I'm doing something called The Lawn. That's going to be every Wednesdays at Kapalina. So there's it's like a night market on the beach. They have a beach bar. They have all these food vendors, live music. So that's all the live things I'm doing consistently right now. So I think that's like 3 things a week. It is different from being in the studio. Like when you're in the studio, you really feel like you're just in a room, like this, just talking. You're just talking amongst you and another friend. It really does feel like that, and you don't really realize it. When you get up at a gig and everyone is staring at you, it's like you go into the shop like, oh my gosh, people are like just staring at you. I have freaked out so many times. You have no idea. Yes, every time. Still to this day, I do an event. I'm like, I get anxiety. I get really bad anxiety. It's terrible. I should not be saying this at all, but that's the truth. It's an adjustment. You gotta get used to it, yeah.
So how did you get picked to do that? They just like, they hired the radio and they use the talent from the radio, or they just, I want Aunty Brandi, let's hire her.
So normally local events that feature local artists, they're normally going to pair it with an Island 98.5 DJ. And normally it's Koa, but Koa is so booked, he can't be at every single gig because there's so much things that come through our station, whether it's concerts, events, and sponsors. And so normally Koa he's amazing at what he does. This guy makes it look like cake. I swear. That's why I thought it was so easy. I was watching Koa all the time. I went up and I realized how scary it was. But he can't be at every one. So because normally whenever you have any type of event that really caters to the local community or the local people and things going on, they're going to book our local station. So the other co-host I have, I did a pause. He doesn't do gigs. So technically the only person that does gigs right now at 98.5 is pretty much me or Koa.
Okay.
So that's how I got booked for that. I know I just went Portuguese moment. You and asked me a quick question and I went around the circle.
All good. Like I always thought like to get up on stage and talk is freaking crazy. Like, I mean, that especially like the gigs you've been doing, it gets pretty busy. And do you got to come up with your own material on the fly, or you got your stuff rehearsed, or how does it work?
Well, for the most part, okay, so it's not really scripted, right? It's going to be, depending on each event, it's going to be a little bit different. They might have a rundown, like, okay, we have this artist coming on at this time. Special thanks to this. Like, you have sponsors, definitely want to thank the sponsors and stuff for throwing the event, the people who are throwing the event. But the rest of the thing, that's up to you and the crowd to provide that entertainment and be that connection between them, because there's no real way to script who's going to be there and what's going to be happening. So that's pretty much all you to just like free flow.
So are you having fun with it, or is it super nerve-wracking? You said you get nervous, but like once you're up there, does it kind of, you get into the groove, or like every time you walk up on stage, are you like scared to death?
In the beginning, I was so scared to death. I think the first thing I ever did, I literally couldn't talk. Like I was trying to talk and I couldn't do it. Like nothing was coming out. It was so bad, so embarrassing. I did that one for free though. That was a free event. So okay. So, but yeah, so it is nerve-wracking, and then you kind of get used to it, get comfortable with it. And I think that before you're so concerned, like, oh, how do I be, or what do I say? And I think I was missing the point of connecting with the people who are actually there. That's the whole reason you're there, the people that's there. So that's when it becomes easier, and you realize like, oh, I'm here. And then you just talk and engage with them, and it becomes easier. Like you're just talking with your friends or whatever. So in the beginning, it was very nerve-wracking. I'm not gonna lie, there's still moments where I get super nervous. And like, as soon as I get out, because you're in between breaks, like I walk off stage and I'm like, oh my gosh, why did I do that? Or why did I say that? That was so stupid. And then you got to get back on stage again and keep going. So, but yeah, that's it's a lot better now.
You're getting groomed to be hosting like the big concerts, like the Shell and stuff.
No, but I'll leave that to Koa. He does a great job.
You guys can do both hosted. That would be kind of cool.
So me and Koa both do the Taste of Oahu together.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's the one at the stadium.
That's the one at the Aloha Stadium. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, my friend Hansen helps. He does production for that stuff too. Yeah.
Yeah, I seen him over there. I seen him over there a couple times. They did. Yeah. Oh man, they did a great job. The setup, they had the lights and the speakers. Yeah. It was amazing the way they did it.
They got some cool. They got some cool equipment and effects. Like we've been trying to work some things out with them for sure.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, their whole company that they have, they do a really great job. If you guys ever want to hire them, go hit up Hansen.
Yeah, Hawaii Events Unlimited. That's their company. Yeah. It's cool because for years I've been telling him, because all he was doing was promoting, and I was telling him, Hansen, you got to start thinking about doing something else. Like we can't just be nightclub promoters. I have my job, and then he found his niche with this, and he just elevated that company to such a high level, and it's amazing to see what they're doing. And like, he'll tell me, oh yeah, we got this gig. And then he'll show me a video. I'm like, bro, how do you do that? Like, what, like their proms and like, shoot, their graduation things. And it's like, wow, these kids now are going to have such awesome memories because of all their crazy lighting and balloons. And like, bro, they're definitely pushing the limits, and they're not afraid to, and it's cool to see.
That is awesome. When I was younger, I think we just did it in my backyard, but that was cool too. But
the lights from Spencer's out of that's exactly what we would do.
We was asking the neighbors to like turn on the lights in their backyard too, so we have extra illumination going on.
Yeah. So you still live in Waianae?
Actually, okay, so I moved to Waianae maybe in October. I was living in Kapolei for 10 years. I moved to Waianae in October temporarily, and I just looked at a house. I'll say it now. Me and my boyfriend just looked at a house yesterday, so we're about to sign papers for that. So it's exciting.
Whoa, okay, wait. So you have a boyfriend?
Yes.
All right, you just fucking broke everybody's hearts. Okay, well, that's done. Okay, everybody, she has a boyfriend. Now you don't have to ask me. But you guys where are you guys gonna move to? Like, where are you guys gonna look at?
Upper Makakilo.
Oh, okay, that's closer. That's closer to town.
So much closer. The traffic coming out of Waianae sometimes in the morning, it takes me just 30 minutes to get from Waianae to Kapolei.
Yeah, for sure.
Just from Waianae to Kapolei is just like 30 minutes. So and then from because he has a house in Makakilo already, so that I'll stay over a few times when I'm, if I'm not busy or have the kids. So from his house to my job, it's literally like 25-30 minutes. So
nice.
There's a big chunk of difference as far as travel time. Yeah.
That's like hour half shaved off of your day where you can do productive things instead of just driving.
Exactly. When I was picking up my son from football at Kamehameha, just from Waianae to his school and back to Waianae, that was 3 hours of my day just in the car.
Oh wow. Plus gas nowadays is so expensive. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I swear. I was ready to tell him catch the bus or something. Call your
You're
dad.
on your own. You're on your own. I'm not doing this. So you have a boyfriend. What does your boyfriend do? Everybody would want to know about him. You put him on blast.
I mean, you know what? He's kind of in the public too a lot.
Oh yeah?
I'll just say he's an entrepreneur.
Okay.
He's an entrepreneur. He has a lot of businesses and stuff he does. He is super driven. I thought I couldn't meet anybody that worked more than I did, and he definitely works a lot. So that can find your own challenges. You got a lot of families now. Everybody, you got working parents. The mom and the dad is working. Then the kids have going on, and you got to try and find time for each other. So it's definitely trying to navigate all that and figure out how to make it work. It's typical stuff that goes on, so.
Are you happy?
Oh my God, yeah, I am happy. Because he's going to watch this. I'm just kidding.
Well, you better say you're happy
so happy. It's so different because I think when I was younger, I'll be honest, when I was younger, I wasn't mature. So I was in toxic relationships, and it was really bad. And it took a lot of growth out of my part and, out of the other person's part as well. But it can take a lot of growth and a lot of work to get out of that. So when you finally get into a healthy relationship, it feels like, wow, it feels really good. It feels really good to really be in a healthy relationship, and get to that place. When I was
Oh,
younger, it
that's
wasn't like
awesome.
that. Yeah. But
Yeah. I mean,
you're younger,
planning
cops
local.
is being called. You hate each other one day, love each other the next day, hate each other again, break up, make up, break up. But now it's so good. It feels so
That's
good.
local girl syndrome, right? You break up with your dude at least 17 times before it takes, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you get the drunk booty call at the end of the night, and then they come over, and then then you back in the same beginning again.
I don't think people realize how old I am. I'm already like, I'm tired of this already. I need to settle down. I can't be doing that anymore. I got kids, I got a career,
Yeah.
you get time to really take your hard knocks, learn your lessons and grow up. That's what I went through.
That's super awesome. And you're happy, and it seems like you have someone that can motivate you as well. And that's
Yeah.
the best when someone's on your level and you're motivating each other. That's when you just kind of play off each other's success and visions and goals. And that's motivating in itself. You know what I mean?
It is. It really, really is. Yeah, definitely.
Well, I'm happy for you. I can't speak for everybody else that listens to this. Are we gonna have salty people? But you're not gonna get as many downloads now.
Oh man.
I just edit that part out.
You know what? I'm single. And I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I better not do that.
But that's good for you. So free time, like it seems like you have very little bit of free time. What do you do for free time now?
Sleep.
Hey, that's always good.
I work Monday through Friday. Sometimes I have gigs on Saturdays. I have my son's football is on Saturdays. So it's like, I get a free day Sunday. So it's like my free day is Sunday and it's like, I got to go to work again tomorrow, or I try to squeeze in. So it's hard. I'm trying to work on something now. I think that where every Sunday is my phone off, no business calls, no nothing. It's going to be my reset day. Journal, meditation, whatever that is, to just clear out all your energy at the end of the week and go in with a fresh head to the beginning of the week. And then just let all the rest of the days go to work. And then vacation time, when I take a vacation, that's literally the only time I'll really get a good break is if I'm on vacation. Take the vacation time. If I'm on vacation, I'm not working. I'm not doing anything. I'm just with the kids, with my boyfriend, or with the family, and just, focusing on that and dedicating that time alone. But right now, because I'm still kind of early in my career, you're grinding, you're hustling. Every opportunity you get, holidays, late nights, I'm doing all of that right now, because I'll be able to, you put in the hard work now so you can rest later, especially with the prices and everything going up. It's like, you got to work extra hard if you want to survive, just to make it for, your family and your kids. And so sometimes it's like, what do I do? Do I spend time with my kids or do I work that way I can provide for my kids? And a lot of the time you're stuck between making those decisions.
Yeah, that's definitely you're right. You got to make time to reset. And if you don't, it's just carries on from one week to another. I have a thing where every Wednesday, no matter what, I cruise with a certain bunch of friends and we'll go to the park and drink beers or whatever. But
nice.
It has to be every single Wednesday. We're being super consistent, and it's like, wow, just that few hours a week helps me reset and kind of puts me in a better mood to get through the week. And that's smart that you know that you need to do it, because I can understand when because you're new at your job, you want to impress everybody. It's exciting, so you want to take in as much as you can, but you do got to make time for yourself. So for vacation, where have you been? Have you been traveling, or what have you been doing?
Yeah, you're definitely right. You can't pour from an empty bucket, so you do need that time. Oh man, I've traveled. I went to Kauai, Big Island. I went to Thailand, LA, Vegas, back to LA. Where else did I go? And then I'm actually, so I leave tomorrow night again.
Oh, nice. Where are you going?
I'm taking the kids to Universal Studios. So we're going to do Universal Studios, Santa Monica Pier, just take a drive, just go to California for summer break and just have a bunch of fun with them.
Cool.
So I leave tomorrow night for that. And then we go to Disneyland in November. So.
Oh, nice. I'm probably going to take my daughter in December. Yeah.
Have you guys gone before?
Oh, she went like 6 times or 5 times. We just went last January. We just went in January. Yeah. I like to
Wow.
say it's because I can bring my daughter, but I love Disneyland. I go for me. Like she's my excuse.
Wow, me, I'm from MACHADO. The furthest I ever went was like Pearl Ridge. This is gonna be like my first time going to Disneyland. I think I'm
Oh,
more
really?
interested
You never been Disney? This is your first
in
time?
no, it's my first time. I'm
Oh,
gonna be
I
the
gotta send
biggest
you
kid.
some notes then. Yeah.
Yes,
Yes, I will
definitely.
send definitely. I got like all these little hacks and stuff. I have it all in my phone. My friend Cora gave it to me, and yeah, yeah, I'll definitely send it to you. And it's so fun. And this last time I went was my daughter's first time to ride all the scary rides. She was tall enough, and
Oh yeah.
yeah. And at first I had to talk her into it, and then she'd try them all scared, and then she got into it, and then every single scary ride, she was about it. And that was the most fun we had in at Disneyland. I can't wait to bring her back. But you guys are gonna have a blast, especially if your first time. Like the biggest advice I can give you going Disneyland is just pretend you're a kid again, and it's gonna be awesome. You're gonna
I'm definitely gonna be
yeah,
the biggest kid there, probably
yeah.
bigger than my kids sometimes. I get really
Oh,
excited over like the littlest things. They're
yeah,
looking at me like, Mom, stop it.
yeah. And so that's guarantee your kids' first times then, right?
Yeah, it's their first time. We were supposed to actually
Oh,
go
yeah.
several years ago, and then my son broke his arm and the bone came out of his arm.
Ooh.
And the doctor's like, he can't do anything. He can't ride a bike. He can't play hopscotch, nothing, because they have to let that bone heal. So we have booked the tickets already where we were supposed to go. He broke his arm, couldn't go. So when his arm finally healed, we were going to go again. And then the pandemic hit.
Oh,
And then that prolonged it even more. So now we're finally going this time.
oh, you guys are gonna
Yeah.
have so much fun. I'm super stoked for you guys. That's gonna be cool.
I'll bring something back for your daughter. I'll go bring her back. What
Yeah.
is she like? Who's her favorite character?
Anything Frozen. Yeah,
Yeah.
she's all about
Okay.
that. Yeah.
Got her.
That's super cool. Yeah, Universal is awesome too. The Harry Potter stuff is cool. Like, yeah, you guys are set up for a fun trip.
Definitely taking that vacation time.
Yeah. So what is the radio is cool with letting you take vacation, or it's like pain in the ass to kind of book it?
Um, you know what? I would say right now, because one of the guys that we was on the show with us, he left. So then it just became me and the other person
Yeah.
that's been there for a long time. And so we've been trying to fill in the other guy's spot and trying to figure that out. So my trip was actually planned before he left.
Oh,
And so then when he left, my boss who's on the show with me, he's like, just go, just take the kids. We got it. Take your time off. And he was so supportive about that.
that's good.
And he was so awesome about that. Yeah. And I kind of felt bad, but you know what? I have the kids too. And I was like, oh, I do have to dedicate this time. And so, yeah, he was really good about it. And they've all, even Cole, so I think Cole is coming in to take my part. So they really did pull together so I can go do this with my kids. It's awesome.
Good for you. How long are you guys gonna be gone for?
9 days.
Oh, okay, kind of a long one then.
Yeah, it's gonna be kind of long. I'm gonna be ready to come back to work when I come.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be itching to jump back onto production and start doing stuff.
That's super cool though. But you guys will have fun, and
yeah,
that's smart. Like you'll like cut out work and not even think about it, at least for the first couple of days.
Yeah, I know. So normally too at nights, like I'll try to set a time like after 8:30, no phone. I can't be on my phone. There's no work. And then that's just my every night, right? Like I got to cut off work at that time. So I was trying to do that so I could just like, at the end of the day, reset and clear too. But every night at 8:30, I've been passing out now. I don't even have time to reset. I'm so tired. I knock out, I wake up, I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to go back to work. So that hasn't been working very well.
Well, vacation is definitely time to reset, and you'll have fun. You'll make some amazing memories with your kids, and Disneyland, like you cannot not have fun. It's like you think of magic, and Disneyland is magical. Like I'm a adult and I go over there and it's like, oh yeah, Disneyland gets some action. It's magic. I love it.
I know you only get what, like 18 summers with your kids, and this is going to be one more summer that's going to be gone soon, you know? So it's like, you got to think of like that. You only get 18 summers and they're gone. So,
wow, I never thought about that.
or 18 Christmases or 18 winters or whatever it is, you know, if even that, because then when they get older, they don't really want to spend time as much. They want to be with their friends. So you probably don't even get 18. So just try to make the most of it and where I can.
Well, that's cool. It seems like you always trying to put your family first. And obviously everything that you've been doing work-wise is to give your kids the benefits. And do they trip out do they listen to you on the radio and stuff?
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think I'm the cool mom. I tell them like, I did a commercial or I did this. And they're like, okay. Like, I am not a cool, when you're the parent, when you're the mom, or when you're the child and you look at your parents, you're never really that impressed by your parents. You always think that they're dorky. So I'm always a dorky mom, I guess.
One day they'll understand and be like, whoa, that's your mom. When their friends start understanding and be like, oh yeah, that's your mom, dude. Like
and then they're gonna get more irritated, watch. And then they'll be like, oh my gosh, they'll be even more embarrassed because their friends are saying stuff. So but it's okay.
Okay, I know what I wanted to ask you, and this is kind of silly questions and stuff, but I noticed on your Instagram you had a lip filler, right? You kind of you promoted that, and for you it looks super natural, like, and I am not a fan of girls who do that to the point where it looks ridiculous. Like the some of the girls I see, their lips look like they in Kiss One Iron or someone in False Crack them. Like,
or look like little sausages or little sausages.
Look like I could take their head and stick them on a glass. But I always wanted, like, how does it work? I had someone on before and she kind of told me, but what does it feel like? I'm just very intrigued by it because it's interesting to me for some reason.
Okay, so actually this is a funny story. So when I was little, I used to get teased all the time, bird lips, and I hated my lips. Like I used to get teased all the time. And people used to call me Bird, and the whole thing was actually started by my sister. She was the one who started that whole thing. And then all her friends started saying it, and then that was after. So I hated my lips. What happened was my lip color is actually flesh tone. So it's the same color as my skin. And I don't have a lip. Not only do I not have a lip border, so everybody has a top lip that's defined, right? Like a top lip border. Mine actually went flat, and I didn't have. Everybody has this M. I think it's called like a vermilion border or something. It has an M. I didn't have that, so my lip like just went like that. So it was a corrective thing. They had to build a lip line and build an M because I didn't have all that. And so because it was also flesh toned, it made it look like I didn't have lips even more so. So what they did was more so of a corrective thing than to really go like, big. It was more so to build that wasn't there. At first it feels weird. It does feel a little bit hard in the beginning because you just got something put into your lips. In the beginning it feels hard. But then as it starts to, I guess, I don't even know the correct medical standpoint for this, but it starts to go into your lips, then it just feels like normal lips again. It feels soft like normal lips. It just kind of goes away after like a week or two.
Okay. Is it sore? Like
when you get it done, they put this numbing thing on. So you don't actually feel it at all. Like I don't feel anything. Yeah. You would think so, but I think it's more in my head. Like you're there and then he's coming with a needle and you're like, you're like, get away. Yeah. Like, so you're just freaking out, but it actually doesn't even hurt. Yeah.
So what would be your advice for girls that would want to try that stuff? And how do you know not to go too big? Because come on, you got to see some of these girls. It's like, how in your eyes do you think that looks good? Like some, like they go too big, or I don't know what it is. Like, is it, I don't know. Like, is it the doctor that's telling them?
I think, having a good doctor is one of them. Because I remember I told my doctor, I was like, should I go like this big or that big? And he's like, Like they'll tell you like, you know, this would not look good. This is not a natural look. I don't think it's, so I think having a good doctor, a reputable doctor who's going to give it to you straight, is one good thing. But if you do come in and you are insistent that that's the look you want, then they're like, okay, they're going to do it. But I think also having, family and friends to tell you what your limit is and really put it in your head. Because even me, after I did it, I was like, I'm not gonna lie, I was like, oh, I like this. Should I go bigger? And everyone's like, no, stop it. Shut up, stop it. So I think having like good family and friends, because it's really easy to just like think more and more. Like people who are bodybuilding, right?
Yeah.
My boyfriend was actually telling me this. When they're bodybuilders, they start working out and they get big, and then they don't think they're big enough. So they keep going and going, and they don't realize how big they are. And it's an actual thing that your mind does, telling you that it's not enough. He said that bodybuilders go through the same thing sometimes.
Well, that makes sense.
They always feel small.
Yeah, I always thought the doctors get paid by the cc's that they put in, so they're making some duck-filled lips to make the money.
They do get paid per cc that they put in, and I told the doctor, and he told me straight. He's like, right now, he said, it looks natural. You have a natural look. He said, I go any bigger, it's not going to look good.
Yeah,
it will look fake. It will look like it's done. If I don't think that's a look that you want, you're going to ruin your face. You're going to look like you got work done.
Yeah. To me, I didn't know that you had it done until you posted on Instagram. And I was like, oh, that's kind of cool that you put it out there. And I was like, okay, I didn't know that, because it looks natural. And I'm so used to seeing all these plastic girls. I mean, I'm in the club every Friday, and some of these girls is like, what are you thinking? Like, how do you, I don't understand, but I guess mentally, like you said, it could be something where it's like, oh, that looks good, I'm just going to go bigger, just a little bit bigger. And next thing you know, you're running the duck lips.
Yeah, true. That's true. And I think with social media and the world going on, it's easy to get a distorted reality of what looks good and what doesn't, because we see in magazines, we see it on posters in the wall, we see it on social media and ads, all these people, and that's becoming the trending look. And then we start to compare ourselves and think that, oh, I don't want to look like this, or this is how it's supposed to be, because this person who looks like this is getting the most likes, they're getting the most shares, they're getting the most this, and then you start to compare yourself and feel like you're not. It's very easy to fall into that and feel like you're not enough. But at the same time, I think that every person is entitled, if that's how if you look crazy and your eyelashes is and your lips is, and you're happy, hey, that's up to you. Every person is entitled to what happiness looks like to them. I think you just have to know the purpose and the reason that you're doing it, and to that extent, right? It's like chasing a butterfly. Are you ever going to catch it, or is this enough for you and you're happy with it? I deal with that all the time. I deal with it every day. I'm not going to lie. I struggle all the time. Like, oh, is my hair blonde enough? Is it long enough? Am I skinny? It's very easy to get caught up, because that's the world we live in now.
No worries. Good to go.
We're going to talk story like this, guys.
Sounds good.
But back to what I was saying is, I think that I got caught up in that. I definitely got caught up in that. You lose a sense of yourself, or how you're supposed to be in that comparison. I get lost in it all the time.
So does social media kind of play a factor into that?
A huge factor, because all day, all you're seeing are these like women or bikini models, or, you know, even people who use filters and photos. And we all use Photoshop and filters these days. It's a very common thing. But that
some of it is bad though. Like the kind like, I'm looking at that person, I'm looking at their Instagram, I'm like, come on. Like you're not even close.
Totally, yeah. So it becomes such a normal thing that now we're thinking that social media is reality, because that's the everyday life, right? So it's very easy to get caught up in that.
What would be your advice for your kids with social media? Because I'm gonna probably start having to deal with that soon with my daughter.
Yeah.
And she has like TikTok or whatnot, and I'm like watching. It's all silly and fun with her
Yeah.
friends, but I know it's coming. You know what I mean? Like, what would your advice be for your kids with social media?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I right now I'm trying to they're young. They don't need to be I don't have them on they're not on any type of social media. They play like Fortnite and stuff.
Yeah.
But I know the only way that they'll ever be able to do, because it can be a tool too. Social media can be great for marketing, for work, for
Yeah.
advertising.
Yeah.
It's a great tool as well. And it comes with such a responsibility at the same time because it can do so much damage. You see people that are 12-year-old boys that are committing suicide because of things, that bullying that happen and stuff. And social media, I think, definitely can play such a huge role in that.
Yeah.
So I think the only way that my kids are going to learn is through experience. You're not going to learn anything without experience. And I think just being there for them and helping guide them and being able to have open conversation with them about anything is so important. Like I always tell my kids, they're never, ever going to be in trouble for anything they do. Never. Because I don't want their first thought to be like, oh my gosh, I can't tell my mom. I don't want them to ever be in a situation like, oh my gosh. I want their first thought to be like, I have to talk to my mom about this. So I think that them being able to come to me and talk to me about anything will be a big help and guide in their life, as long as they know that, they have somebody there that can always help guide and direct them. But at the same time too, it's hard being a woman raising boys, raising men.
Yeah.
I'm not a man. I don't know what men go through. So they also have to find their path as men and what that's going to mean for them. And so it's going to be interesting to see. I haven't gone through them with social media yet. I'm kind of
That's
figure
good.
it out as it comes,
Yeah.
but that's kind of the standpoint I have on it.
Well, how's your interaction on social media? You're becoming more of a public figure now. Do you get a lot of like drama on social media or like haters, or like how has your social media interaction been since you started working at the radio?
There has been, you know what? There's been a lot of moments of negativity, a lot, so much, and there's times where it got ugly. Like people were sending me pictures of my kids and telling me they were going to kill my kids and stuff there because there was some things that had happened that, they didn't agree with or whatever had happened. And so that there's some people that go through bad or very far extents to, express their anger or frustration with you. And that can be hard. Like that can be really hard to deal with at that time. But
for sure,
I think the way to handle any situation, and I literally have to learn this. I take it I'm not kidding, day by day. You have to remind yourself that every situation is only going to be how you respond to it.
That's true.
It can never be anything more. And there's been times where I was crying. I'm not kidding. I was depressed and even suicidal. There got to a point I was like, I don't even want to like be living anymore. It was such dark times for me.
Wow.
And to get through that was really hard, but you really have to, it's easy to read positive quotes online and just be like, oh, just be positive or just move forward. It's easy to just read it. And then when you come to a situation and face adversity, forget everything you read and just resort to whatever. So it definitely is a day by day practice where you just tell yourself like, it's only going to be whatever you respond to it. And whatever energy you put into a situation, that's the energy you're going to receive in return. So you really have to learn to just be like, people are dealing with their own things. They're going through their own struggles. And that's why maybe they're lashing out online or whatever it is. They're battling their own demons as well. So either you can either take part of that and get taken down with it, or just be like, hey, you know what? Have a blessed day. Mahalo. And unless there's only times I ever engage with somebody is if like I see them, like they were personally taking, like we had Wild with you on the show, right? And so they were personally attacking one of the girls they had on the show. That's the only time I ever stepped in and I was like, really? Like, come on, that's not cool. You know, that's not really nice. Other than that, I just don't engage. I always, hey, have a blessed day, right on, move on, hope you and Ohana have a beautiful weekend. And you just got to keep it moving and not get sucked into that, because it's easy. It's so easy.
I had problems with that before, where somebody say something and it's like, oh, where you live? Like what? Like, and it's like, bruh, like I'm actually arguing with somebody. They get like 7 followers and they're taking time out of their day to talk shit to somebody. And it's like, wow, it is like, there's nothing better to do. It just blows my mind how you can just talk badly to somebody you don't even know, for like just for fun, or just okay. That's how
it can be really ugly. It can be super ugly, and it's plus too how, and then however you respond, that becomes your character. That becomes a part of your character. And if that becomes a routine thing, then that becomes something that's, you're normally doing. Then who are you as a person? So it's hard, man. I'm not gonna lie. There's moments I want to be like, bro.
Yo, the wine and I come out and say, oh, I'll meet you at the park right now.
Jokey boy, where you stay?
Yeah.
But you gotta, it really takes that. It's like, you gotta really talk yourself out. I've had to talk myself out of situations so many times. It's not easy, but when you do it, you do feel better, and you realize the weight that's removed when you're not engaging and stuff like that.
Empowering.
Sometimes people come back later too, and they really apologize. They're like, I was going through this and I was going through that, and I'm sorry. And I'm so glad I didn't engage in that. And because it could have been something so ugly, and really other people are hurting too. And so they'll come back and they'll apologize. And now we're cool. We're friends, so everything is a direct result of how you respond to it.
That's true. And that comes with age too. Like you learn, like how you said earlier, is you become more mature and realize all the things you may have done before that got you into certain situations. Oh, I learned from that. Now I'll handle this a certain way, and it's a better outcome.
Yeah, definitely. Sorry, don't mind me. I'm just gonna shift positions real quick.
No worries.
But we're
always say for be old and wise, you got to be young and crazy.
Amen. I don't want to talk about those days. I've been there, done that. I'm reformed now. But yes, I've had my time too. As growing up, we all go through it. We all learn at some point in our lives. Some people learn a little bit later than others. They take a little bit longer, but at some point we all go through it.
Well, I think we're all caught up on what's going on with you. I've been enjoying following your career and definitely listening to on the radio. I definitely want to reconnect with you in a year and see where you're at. And so far it's working out. I had Kawi on and see how she was after a year. And for most of my guests that are very hustle driven and working hard, it's a honest level up, and you can see how much they have accomplished in a year. And for you, it's been huge, right? It's been amazing. You're producing, you're doing different things in the radio station, and you still have your morning show. And like, it's a year's time that went by, and you should, sometimes it's cool to look back and appreciate and realize everything you've done in a year. It's like, wow, I really did do all that. It's hard to see because you're doing it every day and you're looking forward, but it's sometimes it's cool to look back and be like, oh, you know what, bro, I'm kind of cool. I did all this stuff. I've accomplished a lot, and I've been doing it your own pace and your own way, and you should be proud. Like, definitely should be proud.
I'm just glad I can set. And sometimes I think I'm like, am I working too much? Am I doing too much? And my mom is like, you're showing the boys what it means to work hard and to do something that they really love, that. And it shows them, like, if you want something, they have a direct example of working hard and going after it every day. So that's the way I try to look at it too. And I look back at the past year, I'm like, oh man, I can't believe I overcame all that. There was so many moments I look back, I'm like, oh, wow. Yeah.
You should be proud. You're a strong person. And like you said, you're leading by example. And that's the best ways to teach your kids. your kids can always be like, oh, you tell me to do this, but you never do. But it's like, yup, I did it. I showed you how to do it. Now it's your turn. And my example is what you're learning from. So that's the best way to teach, lead by example. And yeah, your accomplishments is crazy in a year's time. So
like thank you.
Should be super proud.
I know. Look at you. Now you're producing your own show. You got everything going. You too. You've been growing too. I see you.
Yeah, we making moves slowly, but it's been fun. And yeah, if you level up every single day, and I had E from Everyday Better, and it's something that I believe in. I have his bracelet on. Every day, if you do a little bit better than the day before, it's like you line up all those days and it's like, wow, I really did do a lot.
Yeah. And some days, I'm not gonna lie, I backtrack. Some weeks I backtrack. I went backwards and then you take more steps forward, and then you just keep trying every day, and that's all it comes down to. But I'm definitely gonna see you before the year. I'm gonna come check you out at the club one of these Friday nights.
Yeah, you're gonna come one time.
And my big lips and come roll through.
Yeah. I got you. We'll take some shots.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Well, hopefully I'll see you soon, and maybe I'll come check you out one of those DMB nights.
Awesome. Yeah. Come by, swing by, bring your daughter. She can play games and everything.
That's true. It's summer.
With a gift card. Yeah. It's 5:30, so it's still before bedtime. She can be up all night. She don't have school.
Yeah. Oh, we'll do that. When do you start doing that?
So I go on vacation. I come back from vacation the 11th, so it's gonna be the Monday after. So 12th, I think the 13th will be the one that I'm gonna be at. So I'll be like, yeah, come go through. We'll hook her up with some prizes and stuff.
Yeah, she'll be stoked. All right. Well, on Instagram, where can they find you?
At Aunty Brandi. Keep it simple.
Yeah, right on. And also on your radio show. It's on every morning. What radio station?
On Island 98.5 from 6 a.m. to 11 a.m. And you can catch us on the iHeartRadio podcast.
All right. All right. Well, thank you again for coming on. I know you've been busy and you're getting ready for your trip, so I appreciate you taking the time out, and I hope you have a fun trip, make some cool memories. And for us, you can find us on Instagram, Above the Bridge Podcast. Our website's atvpod.com. Our YouTube's Above the Bridge Podcast. And my personal Instagram is Thaddy Daddy Hi. Well, it's good to have you back on. I hope to reconnect with you in another year and see how much you have grown and all the levels you have changed. And yeah, I definitely want to hear about your first experience at Disneyland. It's going to be kind of cool.
All right. Thank you. I'll talk to you later.
Right on. Shakas for the cameras. All right, we're out. Shout out to the Artist Group Network. Aloha.